Hello, everyone. It's the DCEU podcast, man. And in this podcast, I'll be touching about the Justice Society and the upcoming Black Adam movie. I'll be breaking down certain ideas or aspects that the movie could explore regarding these heroes, and seeing where this could take them in the DCEU with the Justice League and Shazam. Having the Justice Society of America will be an interesting step in the DCEU. The movie would act like a prequel, but only in the first 30 minutes, according to the internet, while the rest of the movie will take place in modern day, where Black Adam will take on the members of the Justice Society of America. This movie will also be great as the basis for many different spin-offs focusing on the Justice Society of America. For instance, according to what I read online, one of the heroes from the original team in comics will be Dr. Fate, who we all know is the DC version of Doctor Strange, except his origin and powers are slightly more different than Doctor Strange. For starters, a majority of the power really comes from the golden helmet he wears, and that the one who wears it allows his body to be taken over by the sorcerer Dr. Fate, or Great Nabu. Now, of course, this is going to be altered in the upcoming Black Adam movie, but I think it will be exciting to see another DC team in the DC Extended Universe better portrayed than in Justice League or in Suicide Squad, because Birds of Prey by far is their only good team-up movie. They were formed during wartime. In the original comics, it was during World War II. President Roosevelt hired both the Flash and the Green Lantern to go spy on him. And during that time, Hitler used a mystical weapon called the Spear of Destiny to summon DC heroes that were formed during World War II, to summon mystical Valkyries so that he may test his super weapons on them. And while that happened, the Sorcerer Supreme of DC, Dr. Fate, sensed this and gathered up more heroes to confront him and stop him. They eventually met up with the Flash and Green Lantern, and together not only stopped Hitler and stopped World War II, but they have also formed the Justice Society of America. It'd be interesting to see how the modern day members of the Justice League, if they've had any connection to the past heroes, especially with Wonder Woman, since she was around since World War I, and she was around during their era. See how possibly her story in World War I could have influenced and inspired all the members to take the role as heroes. But also seeing how for guys like Dr. Fate, how the magic world is affected with Black Adam, because Shazam told us about how he created the 7 deadly sins and wreaked havoc, but it didn't go on to explain how exactly the mystical realm in the DCEU was affected. So that would be a great pace to see. The DCEU has had some mention of the mystical arts, like in Suicide Squad with the Enchantress, but it didn't overall tell us about the magical realm and how the current actions from that movie or any other ones, or even Shazam, could have affected them. So seeing how superheroes like the original Flash, Jay Garrick, will be featured in the movie, it would be great to see how these guys may have influenced the current superheroes we've seen in the DCEU, like the Barry Allen Flash. Even though the movie did not have any mention of him and we only got a tiny glimpse of his backstory, it would still be interesting to see how these past heroes have influenced the current ones. It would also be interesting to see that the Green Lantern we saw in Justice League was not the only Green Lantern on Earth, but will have the previous Green Lantern who was a member of the Justice Society. We'll also possibly see where Hawkman and Hawkgirl were at the time of Suicide Squad, because in the comics they protect Midway City, and in Suicide Squad that's where all the havoc with the Enchantress and her brother have taken place. And depending if anyone would Live or Die. This will be a great chance to see like how they can possibly set up like a sequel to Justice League where they meet each other, and also set up a sequel to Shazam, or possibly set up like the future Shazam versus Black Adam fight. It'll also be interesting to see a great basis for an eventual crossover with the different members of the Justice Society of America and the Justice League, and possibly the Justice Society dissolving into the Justice League later in the DC universe. This could also be a good setup for the upcoming Justice League Dark movie, because in one version of the team, Dr. Fate is a member, but it can also be a good setup for the Lords of Chaos and the Lords of Order. In the DC comics, they are mystical entities who are in charge of keeping things balanced with chaos and order, as the name implies. So that would be a good setup for her eventual or a Dr. Fate movie, or like in the upcoming Justice League or any other team-up movies. Many of the heroes in the movie, I hope to someday see a film featuring them in the DC Extended Universe. This is the DCEU podcast man signing off. Thank you. Please subscribe to my channel. And if you know anyone who works in the DC Extended Universe, give them a recommendation for me. I have a few ideas, suggestions, and stories that would probably make the universe 100 times awesomer than what it already is.